Hello, I'm Rob,
And I'm Rob.
and today we are talking about an indie game called Aragami.
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 Okay, Aragami spelt with an A, not with an O and an I. Not origami, where you're
It's a
folding
little bit
paper.
like origami, but there's a point to that.
Okay.
This is a game, like I said, from LinceWorks, and if you listen to our episode in which we were at AGX, they talked about having somebody who was, or maybe that was outside the interview. It's hard to tell with these things, but they talked about like hiring in a manga artist to get the style authentically Japanese, and the gameplay that you're looking at now has that sort of very anime style, a little bit cel shaded, and also a little bit more expressive, I think.
Okay. So, what's the game about?
Well, it is a stealth game in the classic sense, not in the Metal Gear sense where it is a stealth game, but you've got a gun, so if somebody sees you, you can just blow them away anyway. But you are at Aragami, which, as the game starts, you are basically summoned into this world by a princess who's being captured by an invading army, and you, as Aragami, you're not a human, you're not a real human, you're a spirit who died in violent circumstances. And as it turns out, this Aragami is basically a creature of shadow, which is perfect for the sort of stealth analogy, the ninja analogy.
Yeah.
You know, I think a creature that only lives by night. So you have this one night as the game unfolds to get through the army in the military who's encamped in this village and rescue and save the day. It's basic stuff, but it doesn't really need to be anything more because it's a stealth game. It's all about the setup rather than about what the story is, even though I think as the game unfolds and goes further and further in, the story does become much more nuanced and there's more detail, and you learn a little bit about that specific Aragami that you were playing.
All right. This is sounding very, very Tenchu, but with elements of, say, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
No. The thing is, what's interesting about this is, stealth games, you are very... Well, traditionally in stealth games, you're not supposed to be overpowered. You're supposed to be just sort of skulk your way through the level and try not to get seen.
Yeah.
In this, there's the Kaiho army, and the point there is they seem to know that you're on the way there because the one weapon they have is a sword, and when they know someone's there, they sort of activate their sword so it like glows like a whitey sort of bright colour. And when they saw you, they like swipe their sword, so like as in anime style, when there's like a sword blow and there's like they throw like light projections out their swords, which is a thing in anime alone.
No, not really. It's
not like Zoro. Zoro has those like slashes of a sword, and
it's more a
One Piece.
It's not so much an anime thing. It's more a wuxia thing.
Even so, but they do that, and this beam of light comes out of their sword and kills you in one shot.
Yeah, sounds like Sword Intent.
But that's really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
I love the art style, but what I love even more is it's calling back to sort of the classic idea of the stealth game. Like, for me, the classic idea of the stealth game is not like an action game. It's not an adventure game. It's basically a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Because it's a puzzle game which has like this classic conceit when it comes to how to approach like the difficulty curve, because as you begin the game, you're basically you're wet behind the ears. You don't know what you are. You don't know what you're really doing. This one girl is leading you, and you have no powers to sort of deal with the world. So you really, really have to be quite clever with how you approach the game. But as you get further and further through the game, you get more powers, and you're more able to deal with people. So if you're more able to deal with people, it becomes easy. So the game has to sort of constantly realign itself to keep the challenge invigorating, and you never overpowered, if that makes sense.
Okay, that does make sense.
And I believe that Aragami gets that balance perfect, which is, it's a classic genre.
Yeah.
Not many people do stealth as stealth was intended. And that difficulty curve is like a very real thing. And I think that the people at LinceWorks have really found that perfect, sweet spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tenchu did stealth really well.
I know, but you're talking about a PlayStation 1 game, aren't you?
No, Tenchu was on the PlayStation 2 as well.
Still, long dead franchise.
It is a long dead franchise. They tried to do other ninja games, stuff like Shinobido and stuff like that, but they never really worked. And then there was that remake of Shinobi.
Yeah, I recall that.
Which was far too much action.
Yeah, this is like you basically got like one blow to kill people. You can do it like vertically, You can do it with like your shadow powers.
Yeah.
On that, I think the best part about this is the shadow powers. I mean, it's very literal translation of what a ninja is,
Yeah.
Shadow warrior, basically.
Well, that's
Not
why
the game Shadow Warrior, because that's
Yeah.
completely different.
that's why I brought up Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2, because that has that stealth element of moving in the shadows and then using shadow powers as well.
Yeah, the one thing I really like about this, though, this is an odd comparison point to make, but there's something of a Dead Space in this.
Really?
In Dead Space, how there wasn't any sort of head-up display.
Yeah.
All what you needed to know was displayed on your characters on Isaac's back.
Yeah.
This is very much the same. I mean, yeah, you killed in one shot, but you operate in the world via shadow power, and how much shadow power you have is reflected in the actual design of the character. So if you have no shadow power, or like your character is basically black, but if you get into shadow, you can see like the sort of the art of his outfit sort of regenerate and fill up.
Ah.
And I think that's really nice. I mean, having as little head-up display as possible in a stealth game is key to making it work, I think.
Yeah.
And this, I really enjoy this. As it starts, it's the usual experience of playing a stealth game is, oh, I hate this. This is so unfair. And then you think, oh, actually, I know what I'm doing now. And the more you play it, the more you really find your way through it, and it constantly keeps that challenge. So I think this is like one of the surprise hits of sort of the back end of the summer, really. So I really enjoyed it. It was always busy at EGX as well. We did try to get a play of it when we were there, but there was always somebody there, and it's totally understandable why. This is a really nice game, I think.
Is it one of those games that you think deserves a console release?
Oh, it has got a console release.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're talking about the PlayStation 4 version now.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, if you pine for the days of proper stealth, I think this is a must-buy for you, really.
Fantastic.
And that, out from the people over at LinceWorks, or LinceWorks, I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
I think it's
available on
LinceWorks.
PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Awesome.
And it comes very much with our seal of approval. And if you like this video, please don't forget to click the like and share it with your friends, and subscribe for more video game reviews and more just general good stuff.